are going down. It's happening all the time. And I've warned and warned and warned for years that you gotta have a plan for a lights out situation. Some people let it go in one ear and out the other. Some people actually do something about it. Shout outs to those that are making moves because we're running out of time. The sand is slipping out of the hourglass. For a decade, the number one thing that I have warned everyone to watch out for is an endgame lights out event. We just so happen to have two North Korean shining star satellites passing over many countries every day. The EMP Commission said that they were likely EMPs. Our military knows they're there, and they continue to let them traverse around the globe at the perfect altitude for sparking an EMP. Now you mix that with these staged events that are happening, with these cyber attacks, and they always want to point the finger at Russia, the boogeyman, with no proof. You guys already know the three-letter alphabet gangs are the ones tied into all of this. And that's the facts, Jack. They are behind everything, they always are. And when this thing comes down, when the lights go out on this country and maybe many more.
All right, Shalom. This is Har 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, and my mouth. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, what you heard there was Dabu 7 speaking about North Korea and their shining star satellite. What would you call EMP or EMP, a missile capable satellite. Now, I want to read an article from this. I just came across it right while I was about to do the video, but it's from June 6, 2021. So that's the other day. And it says EMP Task Force on National and Homeland Security. All right, so this is like on the website. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. I don't know what the heck this is, man. I just clicked on it as I was doing the lesson right now. All right, it says North Korea EMP threat. North Korea's capabilities for electromagnetic pulse EMP attack. All right, Task Force on National and Homeland Security. All right. Says Director Peter Vincent Pry, Executive Director, EMP Task Force on National and Homeland Security, June 6, 2021. Key judgments. The West consistently and unwittingly cooperates with North Korea by underestimating the advancement, sophistication, and strategic implications of North Korea's nuclear weapons and missile programs. Thus, under the nose of the U.S. intelligence community, North Korea surprised the world by demonstrating ICBMs that could target any city in the United States and a hydrogen bomb in the summer of 2017. North Korea's KMS-3 and KMS-4 satellites orbit the U.S. daily. Right, that's one of them shining star satellites. Their trajectory is similar to that planned for a Soviet era secret weapon called the Fractional Orbital Bombardment System, FOBS. All right, so Russia attempted this before. It says deployed by the USSR to make a surprise high altitude EMP, HEMP, right? High altitude EMP, HEMP attack on the United States. Trajectories of North Korea's KMS-3 and KMS-4 satellites are near optimal for a HEMP attack, a high altitude EMP attack on the U.S. if they are nuclear armed. Whew. Uh, the high altitude EMP attack does not require much accuracy or re-entry vehicle capability. Re-entry vehicle capable of penetrating the atmosphere and is well within North Korea's technological capability. So it doesn't have to come back into the firmament. It can just go out into the you know, what you would call right, what you would call the exosphere, all right, or the it could even go into the mesosphere. All right, it's one to double check. Yep, because usually when they shoot missiles, it'll go into the mesosphere. All right, you can look into it. So it doesn't have to come back into into the atmosphere. It can just stay out there and just blow up, and it'll shut down, basically send America back to the Stone Age. You know, so they say. Multiple. It says multiple credible foreign sources. And also the only Stone Age was Esau. I didn't. All right, in the caves. Multiple credible foreign sources, including from South Korea, China, and Russia. All right, so that's the threat they're pushing right now, because it could just be a regular satellite recon, or equipped with something, and they could allow it to happen, or they could pull off a what you call that false flag. All right, including two of Russia's foremost EMP weapons experts allege the design for Russia's super EMP nuclear weapon leaked or was transferred to North Korea. So they got that same uh, technology and design for the high altitude fractional orbital bombardment system. So that's what they, wow. So it could be, man, fractional orbital bombardment. I wonder why they call it that. I'm gonna look that up. All right. This is from Wikipedia. Fractional orbital bombardment system. All right. FOBS. It says was a nuclear weapons delivery system developed in the 1960s by the Soviet Union. One of the first Soviet efforts to use space to deliver weapons. FOBS um, envisioned launching nuclear warheads into low Earth orbit before bringing them down on their targets. Mm. Like a kinetic bombardment system, but with nuclear weapons. So it's just like a kinetic bombardment system, but this one carried nuclear warheads. FOBS has several attractive qualities. It had no range limit. Its flight path would not reveal the target location. Just like now, they don't know what it's doing. And warheads could be directed to North America over the South Pole, evading detection by NORAD's north facing early warning system, man. Okay, NORAD is a North American Aerospace Defense Command. Okay. Um. So now let me get this real quick. It says the super EMP weapons. This is back at the article again on or whatever this is, like a document from the Homeland Security. Super EMP weapons are typically small, lightweight, and low yield, designed to emit enhanced gamma rays. All right, not make a big explosion, and could fit within North Korea's KMS-3 and KMS-4 satellites, or be delivered against the U.S. by North Korea's ICBMs, or be delivered against Japan, Guam, or the Philippines by North Korea, by North Korean IRBMs or MRBMs, like the Nodong, and against South Korea by a wide array of North Korean SRBMs. Sheesh. All right, so um, and now you have I think it's a new moon tonight, right? It was a new moon tonight. Okay, today's the 9th, June 9th. I think going into tomorrow evening, it'll be the new moon. It's supposed to be like a blood moon or a lunar eclipse tonight. I gotta check into that as well. And then you have Iran just put out a threat saying that they can hit America's military over there in the Middle East with EMP, electromagnetic pulse, and shut down all their military equipment, and then they can attack. And then you have China and Russia threatening to hit America with EMP out in the ocean on the aircraft carriers, which would shut down their launch capability or defense. So hey man, then you got the so-called ransomware cyber attacks. So then you have, like Dabu Seven said, the alphabet boys. You know, at any moment they can pull off a false flag and blame it on any of these countries. Excuse me. So that's the times we in, man. We're in dark times. Like your boy Biden said, Creepy Joe. Super. All right. So now, see if there's anything else on this. Um, North Korea has non-nuclear EMP weapons, including an EMP cannon. Sheesh. Used to impose an electromagnetic blockade on air traffic to Seoul. So I can keep going. It's a whole article. I might chill and just read it later. All right. Um, and also, to anybody out there, if you don't have time to read this, and take up too much of your time, you can download these apps that read the page for you. Like it's a page readers, and you can just copy the whole page, put it in the page reader, and you put it in your earphones, man, and it reads to you the page that you're looking at. All right, so big documents like this, you can kind of still skim through it without taking up too much of your time. All right, 14-page document. It's Matthews 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right, they call it the shining star, North Korea's shining star, and that represents the missiles, them ICBMs, and they're all prophetic. Matthews 24 and 29. All right, because after World War II, that took us into the nuclear age and preparing for that nuclear war. All right, World War III, but it can kick off with EMP attacks, proxy attacks, you know, cyber attacks. But the end all be all is gonna be fire. When they start launching those, that's when it's over. Okay, but the Lord said He gonna bring this place Babylon real low, actually completely low first before it get destroyed. And the EMP could be a part of that. Matthews 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So there's gonna be EMPs, missile, um, nuclear ICBM missiles that's gonna blow up in the sky. Russia got one called the father of all bombs, and it blow up in the sky and it radiates everything under it without touching anything, like damaging any infrastructure. It just radiates all flesh. you know, um, they call it a vacuum bomb. Man, listen. So that's what times we in. All right. They got a missile. They got a bomb. Uh, Russia that ICBM that does not give off nuclear like uh, fire. Radiation. It just gives off this intense heat that obliterates everything under it and turns it into ashes. But it leaves no nuclear fallout. You can look it up, man. It's on YouTube. All right. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right, so that's what times we're in. But it's going to kick off with proxy wars and cyber wars, you know. All right, because the scriptures say that this war shall be with what? Burning and fuel of fire. But then you're also going to have other things going on, like EMP attacks. And, you know, um, it's a different type of war that they're fighting. Revelations 8 and 6. And the seventh angel, which had the seven trumpets, prepared themselves to sound, man. And that's what times we're in. Time of the seven trumpets. All right. And they're going to push that, the mark real soon as well. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, man. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. And that goes with Revelation 7, saying, hurt not the trees, nor the earth, nor the sea, till he have sealed the service of our Father in their foreheads. All right. So as soon as the elect are sealed and the destruction really kicks off, that's why, hey man, the Lord gonna rain fire upon the earth, eh, through World War III. The second angel sounded, and as it were, you know, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. And this sound like missiles, man, being thrown all over the damn earth. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. All right, then you have EMPs, shining stars, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. So this is a different type of one. All right, that's going to be burning in the heavens, looking like a star, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called wormwood. All right, I think it means bitter. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were bitter. All right, and that word wormwood means bitter, or if you look it up, it also means Chernobyl, which means like destruction or sorrow. And it was a destruction that happened in a place called Chernobyl over in Ukraine, and it was like a place of what nuclear disaster, site of 1986 nuclear disaster. All right. Let me see something. All right. That word in the Greek is absinthos, and it says wormwood as a type of bitterness or calamity. All right. So that's what these missiles are going to cause, calamity. Okay. And yeah, Double Seven said it. They prepare for a lights out scenario. It's coming eventually, man. Because the Lord said He gonna bring upon these people their basically their worst nightmares. Isaiah 47, and He said He gonna choose their delusions. All right. Isaiah 47 and 4. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, the Lord of armies, is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, talking about Babylon, America. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. See, his light's about to be put out, you know, and EMP is a perfect, setup for that. And also the dollar crash, the plagues. And you got the alphabet boys playing tricks with the system, false flags. Then you got these Russia, China, and all them, Iran. So the scriptures say what? I was wroth with my people, and I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily very heavily laid thy yoke, even today. They still laying a heavy yoke upon our people. All right. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And that's even today, man. People like, what's going on? This ain't gonna happen. How is this happening? Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures, of thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Was was on is the Lord about to judge this place. But see, a lot of people don't think it could happen. All right, but look at all the empires on the earth. They have risen, boasted in their riches, and just like the blossoming of a flower or the grass, they grow, they blossom. That's the glory of man, and then they what? They wither away. The same thing with kingdoms and with this flesh. All right. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. So once the Lord has it perfectly set up, then He's gonna just bring it like a breach ready to fall. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, man. So the Lord is building up a judgment on Jake and these heathens. For the great abundance of thine enchantments, man, all the wickedness in this place. See, they just painted the bridge out here in Jacksonville. They had the Main Street Bridge. They had it turned to the rainbow. You know, the rainbow was supposed to represent the promise that the Lord made to us, not to destroy the earth with the flood. But He said He's gonna do it with fire now, and in that fire He's gonna deliver the elect. All right. So this place is perverted and its enchantments, right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. See, they trust in it. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, and none else beside me. That's why it said, what calamity is going to come upon this place. All right. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth, man. So it could be an EMP, it could be dollar crash, it could be Esau just pushing buttons, But either way, it's the Lord's judgment for all hell to break loose in this place, man. All right. Now they're talking about the shining star. North Korea satellite could uh, launched over America. You know what I mean? And now Iran is threatening EMP attacks. Um, Also with China and Russia. So Isaiah 47 and 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. That's why it says it's going to be a surprise attack. Thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. Desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.